we go. So, can you tell us a little bit about your path to healing? Shortly.
Shortly, okay.
And your name, where you're from.
Okay, my name is Hong Chi Xiao, and originally from China. Now I live in Hong Kong. I used to work in Wall Street and Hong Kong for many years. But that was all about banking and finance and investment, which totally had nothing to do with the healing thing. At the age of 40, I quit from the finance area and I started my journey in search of all different kinds of natural healers. Originally I meant to write a book about traditional Chinese medicine and healing, but somehow I end up promoting the healing myself. Firstly, I learned acupressure, which is excellent in healing all kinds of stroke, hypertension. Then acupuncture, which is great. I learned for a month, and next month I healed like 1,600 people in Tibet. Then I learned more, you see, like stretching, lodging, and bone setting, and cupping, scrubbing, many different things, and the qigong, and also the tai chi. But then I realized this is good, but it can be only done by a few so-called professionals, or even with a license. The more you're good at, the more you heal people, the more people come into you. So it's like an endless game. So I thought there might be something better, simpler, that is so good, not only good, everyone can do it. So I closed down my office and I started my journey again. And then I went everywhere, different mountains, temples, monasteries, in China and outside China. Then this time I discovered Pai Da. Pai Da means slapping. Very easy. You can learn it in 1 minute. So I use it to my patients. At the beginning, the lower back pain, knee pains, frozen shoulders gone easily. But people say, okay, because you are still using acupuncture and other stuff. So I said, okay, now I stop using all this so-called technical stuff. I just ask them to do on themselves and also do on each other. What happened? The healing is even better and much better than I expected. So I try on more people. So gradually it works not only, to my surprise, on the pain problems, but on all these different chronic diseases like hypertension, diabetes, asthma, Alzheimer's, Parkinson, all kinds of skin diseases, and even depression problems, all sorts of mental problems. It's just great.
Stroke, you said it helps with stroke.
Oh, all kinds of stroke. After stroke, people get paralyzed, couldn't work. After doing this, great. Alzheimer's, we tried it in different old age home in South Africa and even here in the United States. Those people, old people, of course, in their 70s, 80s, and even 90s, they couldn't talk well, couldn't recognize people, couldn't speak well. After doing this gentle Pai Da lodging on the limbs, on the head, the ears, just gently like this, great healing. Their memories come back. They can talk better, they can see better, they can heal better, they can walk better. It's unanimous. Everywhere it's the same. I wouldn't say it's 100% effective, but I would say at least 95%. Yeah, it's very good. And it's extremely useful for the pain problems if you want to demonstrate, like knee pain, lower back pain. So every year when Chinese New Year approached, I would put a note on my website, okay, go back home to see your parents, give them a good gift. That is, give them a good beating, quotation mark. Of course, I even specify where to begin with first. You always slap on the knee, front and the back, especially the back of the knee. Because 90% of the people who are over 60s, I would say, have leg problem and lower back problem. So you slap on the knees and the relief is immediate. Yeah. So it's good. And also for the old people, especially for the gentlemen, they have the prostate problems. Frequently go to toilets at night. You just slap on the inner side of the leg, of the thigh, and also do the stretching. The stretching is also easy. You just lie on a bench or even on a chair, lift one leg up, the other leg down. You just do that. 5 minutes or 10 minutes, the longer the better. The more painful, the better. So after that, there are times to go to the toilet from 8, maybe to 3, maybe to 1, until 0. Because it's so easy. Oh, by the way, it's extremely good for all kinds of emergency cases, especially heart attack. I didn't know that until one day in our Seattle workshop, because some doctors attended my workshop. They personally experienced how we rescued people who got a heart attack, got unconscious, fell. So we just left here. Normally in a few minutes, people came back. Of course, at the beginning, they said, we should dial 911. You don't have to. They see 1, they see 2, they see 3. All of them are so easily rescued. Then they ask me a question. Why don't you use PIDA to replace CPR? I go, what is CPR? Oh, it's pressing here to save people. I said, wow, I didn't know that. If, you guys are doctors, you can write a paper about this. Maybe I should write a book, because many people ask me to write a book about this, because it can save millions of people, even per day, because so many people have heart attack. It's just like here, very easy.
And so tell me a little bit now, what is your aspiration? What motivates you to go around the world teaching people this method?
That's a good one.
What is in your heart that gives you this energy?
I ask myself, if I do this kind of business stuff year by year until I die, okay? Before my death, I would ask myself, what have I done in this life? Only one thing, making money. It's like you're busy making money, then you die. Then you educate your kids, they grow up, they are still busy making money, then they die. It's like a ridiculous game. So I thought I should do something I really love doing, enjoy doing. So I love culture. I've been always fascinated by traditional culture, both Chinese culture and Western culture. But what to do after quitting the job? The only thing I could do is writing, because you don't have to rely on a team or a company. So I started to write a book. It's a fiction book. It's about investment banking. It's about more personal experience. It's called Sex and Stocks. Because these are the two things attracting most of the people. So the book was published in Taiwan and they made in China several times. It's a good bestseller. So after doing that, I was about to write another book. It's about traditional Chinese medicine. So I need to do some field study. So I started my journey to search the different healers. But then those healers, some of the best healers said, you should do something like this. I did. They said, okay, you do better than my sons and daughters. You should do this. So I do a little bit. It's getting better and better. I said, oh, this is so good. Why don't I teach more people to do it? Because acupuncture, acupressure is excellent, but it's very hard to duplicate. Yet, PIDA and the Lajian stretching, it's so easy. Anyone, old and young, men, women, can easily learn it just in a few minutes. So that really inspired me, because this is so good. So I quit medicine stuff. It's all the so-called treatment. This is no longer treatment, no longer therapy. About acupuncture, acupressure, bone setting, it has to be done by some professionals. Now, PIDA Lajian can be done by anyone. From all walks of life, all religions. This is why I teach not only in the monastery temples, in the Buddhist temples, but also in Muslim mosques, also in Catholic churches, Christian churches. They all love it, because this is PIDA Lajian is a universal, good stuff. It's good for everyone.
And now, last question. This is a longer one, longer interview for you, but that's good. We need to capture something for the. Would you tell a little bit about, you have any experience that in the monastery, can you stay in our monastery now? Just share, if you could share a little bit, your experience of being in the monastery.
Oh, yeah.
Our tradition, and how that, if that anything, any insight came to you about how you will practice with your continue on your journey. Will you take anything away from us or anything you learned or what your
Yeah, I've been
experiences?
to many monasteries in Tibet and also in Myanmar. First of all, I learned a lot from Buddhist teaching. See, to combine the teaching, but more importantly, into your action. Okay, from outside going back to the inside. And actually, the Paidalaji itself is also part of the inspiration I learned or I get from Buddhism. See, many people say, okay, I studied, I chant, then it seems good. But you need to act, to practice, to be mindful, to merge it, into your daily life. That is the hard piece. So by doing Paidalajin, you don't look for things from outside. It's inside because the energy activated is all from inside. So I learn from the Buddhist teaching, and I also teach the Buddhists or the monks or the other people how to do Paidalajin. By doing so, they can do their meditation much better because all these physical bodies and the spiritual body, they are actually oneness. They are one thing. So when you're physically sick, you're mentally also sick. So vice versa. So when you do this, your energy flow is much better. So you can concentrate more. Then you can meditate much better. I always say, okay, Buddha or even Jesus taught us many things, but they never say, I give you a magic touch, then you get enlightened. Yet they do teach you a way, a method. Then you can do it, practice it. I think, only during the practicing can you really understand the truth taught by Buddha and by Jesus. So I learned a lot. And here, in the monastery here, especially after teaching, or after listening to the teaching Dharma teach by Tai, I realized he said something wonderful. He said, only through the suffering can you really transfer and you can improve yourself. That's really great to see. By doing Paidalajin, you have to go through the pain. Many people think, okay, the pain is caused by Paidalajin. No, the pain is already there in your body. By doing Paidalajin, we only discover and dig them out. So this is why different people have different pains. The more blockages you have in your meridians, the more pain you have. So on everyone, even if with the same intensity, the pain's degrees are quite different. So when we meet the pain, we encounter the pain, we should be grateful. So, okay, first of all, we discovered where our problems exist. Secondly, during the pain, the healing already begins. In Chinese medicine, we say, oh, the yang energy, the heat will increase. Or in Western medical vocabulary, we say, okay, at that time, during the pain, all the hormones will change. The good hormones will be generated. Good stem cells will be generated. And bad cells will be gone, and bad hormones will be gone. For example, for the diabetic people, if you do this Paidalajin, if you have this problem, then the insulin will be generated. That's all happen automatically because this self-healing system in our body is there. It's part of the nature. Everyone is born with this system. You don't have to look for, in the outside world. It is there. But if you don't do Paidalajin or other exercise, you cannot activate them. They're just there idle. So all we need to do is to study theory, all the great teachings from the great masters, then we do it. Not only do the theory study, but also do the real practice like meditation, meditative jogging, meditative walking, and I call Paida is meditation too. Lodging and stretching is also meditation. You can concentrate.
Thank you very much, Brother Hong Ti. So I guess we stop there, huh?